Well, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, whenever you may be. Yours truly, Eddie Jeezy, back on duty. Welcome back to my car channel. It is November 17, 2020, and a little after 8:40 p.m. here in Los Angeles. Tonight, let's do a nice little video with regards to the all-new 2022 world premiere of the Honda Civic Proto-type. And it's cool, but it is surprisingly sophisticated. America's most popular compact car looks to hold on to its sales crown with elongated proportions and a clean, minimalistic interior design, an article by Scott Oldman from CarAndDriver.com. Well, the 2022 Civic Proto-type, which was revealed today, doesn't grow larger but will offer more performance, safety, and standard features. In addition, new features include a larger 9-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability, a digital gauge cluster, and a higher count of airbags. The 11th generation Civic sedan will arrive late next year with hatchback SI and Type R versions to follow. Honda has just revealed the prototype of its 11th generation Honda Civic. The 2022 Civic will feature a more formal exterior with fewer curves, cues borrowed from the larger Accord, and an interior with a modern minimalistic aesthetic. Sales of the sedan will start late next spring, and the compacts lineup will eventually again include a hatchback, a hotter SI variant, and a high-performance Type R, which was dead at the end of the 2020 model year. The coupe will not rise from the ashes. Well, the Civic has been an important part of Honda's lineup since 1973, and the 11th generation has massive shoes to fill. Its predecessor is arguably the most successful Civic ever. It has dominated its class since its introduction in 2016, consistently exceeding a 20% market share, and so far has racked up sales of 1.5 million units. For the past 4 years, Honda says it has been the best-selling car in America, with the millennials, the Generation Z, and first-time car buyers, outperforming rivals including the Toyota Corolla, Hyundai Elantra, the Mazda 3, and the Volkswagen Jetta. Further complicating the new Civic's job description is the discontinuation of the Fit. Following the 2020 model year, it once again makes the Civic the brand's most affordable entry point. According to Honda spokesperson Carl Pulley, its pricing will reflect the new role. The new 2022 Civic will get more standard feature content. He says, also claiming it will perform even better than its predecessor in handling engine performance, overall dynamics, and crash protection. Honda will reveal the 2022 Civic sedan closer to its on-sale date next spring. The prototype shown here is visually accurate, but it's a roller without any interior suspension or powertrain. It's also a mishmash of elements that will eventually be seen on its many variants, but not necessarily the production sedan. These include its solar flare pearl paint and its black mirrors, pillars, and trim. It also features 2 oval exhaust tips and a set of 10-spoke matte black 19-inch wheels, both of which are probably SI or Type R hardware. Here they wear a beefy set of Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire size 235 by 35Z R19. The 10th generation, which is out in 2016, was the largest Civic yet and the first to use a global platform. The new car gets an evolution of that current chassis, which probably means it won't return to a control arm front suspension as in the new Acura TLX and MDX. Bummer. Instead, we expect a broader use of the clever dual-axis strut front suspension from the current Type R, which eliminates torque steer by mechanically separating the steering and the suspension functions. It also means the Civic, which is already the stretch limousine of the compact class, ain't getting any bigger, although it appears a longer, lower, and wider than its incredibly popular predecessor. Honda hasn't messed much with its dimensions. Its height and width are the same as before, and it's only about an inch longer. Its wheelbase has been stretched a little more than an inch, but interior space is unchanged. Rear legroom remains the same, says Dan Calhoun, a Honda senior planner for Civic 4-door and SI, but the longer wheelbase allowed us to increase the rake of the rear seat slightly, far more comfort. Trunk space is also about the same. Moving its A-pillar back 2 inches not only elongates its nose, has given the Civic an almost rear-wheel drive style appearance. Although it will be a front-wheel drive car, of course, Honda has also widened its rear track by about ½ an inch previously with Mazda, where he was responsible for the execution of the current CX-5, the brand's top seller. Calhoun has only been with Honda for 3 years. When we bring up the possible availability of all-wheel drive, he says there will be no all-wheel drive at launch. This gave us hope, but another spokesperson later denied to Car and Driver that there are plans for an all-wheel drive version. The Civic's nose also looks longer because it is. Its front overhang has increased about an inch, while its rear overhang is shorter by about the same amount. LED headlamps and taillights are production units and connected by a hard, crisp line that runs the length of the car. The only chrome on the Proto-type is found on the 2 Honda badges and the Civic badge on its deck lid. Calhoun also said that it points out that the Proto-type's built-in rear spoiler, which eliminates a cut line he feels is an eyesore on the current car, and the black trim that visually slims its A-pillar. It's a cool detail. Its side mirrors have also been moved down to the doors. More importantly, Pulley confirms that the SI and the Type R will retain their clutch pedals. He also does not rule out an optional dual clutch automatic, which is now available in the Hyundai Veloster, and we still assume that the Type R will be available only as a hatchback and the SI will be offered as a sedan. Although it's possible Honda will introduce a Civic Si hatchback. But for the first time, the Civic will have a digital gauge cluster, which we expect to be configurable. We also got 2 cup holders, 3 knobs for the climate controls, and a larger 9-inch touchscreen that is mounted higher. Today, the largest Civic screen is 7 inches. The Civic will also get the fastest infotainment system now in the Accord and Odyssey, which has better graphics and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability. There will be more airbags than there are in the current car, and Honda says it will introduce multiple new airbag designs as well as multiple new active and passive Safeway system, including an upgraded suite of Honda sensing safety and driver assist technologies. We'll learn more about the 2022 Honda Civic's powertrains and other details closer to the sale date on the late 2021. Well, thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. Yours truly, Eddie GZ, back on duty. Go ahead and press that like button and subscribe. Until next time, peace, and we are out.